Hey everyone, welcome to the Beautiful Life Today channel. Today I have a video request topic, which is can you make a video about how to share good news and respond to congratulations in a sensitive manner without putting others down or appearing to be arrogant? This is a great question. You want to share good news, but you want to make sure that when you share it, the person that you're sharing it with doesn't, take it the wrong way. They don't feel like you're being arrogant because, you want to make sure you're not stepping on people's toes, but at the same time, you're so excited about your good news and you want to let people know about it. So before I give my tips on this, I'll give an example from my own life where in high school, when I got into Harvard University, when I got the news that I got in, man, I just wanted to just shout from the mountaintops and tell everybody. But I knew it was at the time that I found out, everybody was finding out where, what colleges they were getting into. And I knew that there were some people who were waiting to hear back about whether or not they got into Harvard and, XYZ University. So, it was a sensitive time for everybody. And so when I shared my news with people, I was very delicate about it. And it really was, when I shared if I got into Harvard, I was really only sharing that with people who asked me, like, oh, did you hear anything? And I would respond. That's when people would say, oh, congratulations, and so forth. And we'd have a little bit of a conversation, but I made sure to, find out, oh, like, so how are you coming along with, college applications, say congratulations and so forth with, their progress so far and all that, because I didn't want that conversation to be only about me. And I think in situations where you're sharing good news, it's very easy to just start talking for a very long time about the whole process of getting to that point where you got the good news and what you're going to do to celebrate, and it's all about me, and just soaking in the glory, because I think that's a natural response when you're basking in the good news. But when you're talking to people, it's important to kind of think, okay, how would I, if I were standing in their shoes listening to this, how would I want to receive this information, and would I actually appreciate a dialogue about how I'm coming along with similar goals and so forth? And I think if you were standing in the other person's shoes, you would want that. You would want the person to say, oh, how are you coming along with XYZ goal? Or, how are you doing? And have more of a conversation as opposed to, it's all about me, and tell me how amazing I am, and so forth. Because once you start getting into a ramble about yourself, it's very easy to turn people off and for people to think that you're really arrogant, and just that congratulations moment will turn into like, okay, that's enough, let's move on now. So I give that example as pretty much a framework for the tips I'm about to provide, which is make sure that when you share the good news, make sure it's time appropriate. You don't just kind of throw it out there and it's really random and people are like, where'd that come from? You want to make sure that when you bring up the good news, it's at an appropriate time. And then share just enough about the good news without going overboard or rambling about it. And if someone asks you for details about the good news, then feel free to provide additional information. But you don't want to make it all about you, because, and talk on and on about it, because that can really turn people off. And also, don't compare yourself when you're sharing your good news. So you don't want to share the good news and then also start comparing yourself to what the person you're talking to was able to achieve, or anybody really. You really just want to keep it simple, isolate the good news about yourself without going on and on about it, and move on and create a dialogue about it, as opposed to getting into comparisons with other people and so forth. That's really unnecessary. And also, don't throw your accomplishments out there, just randomly, just telling people, hey, by the way, guess what I accomplished? Because again, that can be a turn off. You don't want to just constantly be shoving your accomplishments in people's faces, because that can definitely come across as arrogant. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for your question, and I have more videos on the way on this channel, so stay tuned.